Today we are going to solve one-step equations. And I know you have done this in the past, so we're just going to kind of review it a little bit. Number one, we have x minus 5 equals 10. When we solve an equation, what our goal is to do is to get the variable, or the letter, by itself. Now it's x minus 5 equals 10, so I have to move the 5. To move the 5, I use the inverse operation, and the inverse of minus 5 is plus 5. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other, so I'm adding 5 there as well. The minus 5 and the plus 5 cancel each other out, so I'm left with an x. And then 10 plus 5 is 15. So x is equal to 15. I could check to make sure I did my work correctly by plugging the 15 into the equation. So it would be 15 minus 5 has to equal 10. 15 minus 5 is 10, so 10 equals 10, and it checks out. Continuing on, again we do inverse operations, so the inverse of multiplication for number 2 is division, so I'm going to divide by 7. When I divide by 7 on both sides, I get y equals, and then 63 divided by 7 is 9. I could check my work by plugging the 9 back into the original equation. So 7 times 9 would equal 63. And 7 times 9 is 63. So that checks out. Moving on to question number 3. To solve for n, I have to do the inverse operation. Now realize that right here it's a positive 12. So to move the 12 to the other side, I have to subtract 12. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I end up getting n left on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, please be careful. If you have a calculator, you can type it in. 2 minus 12 equals negative 10. I could check my work again by plugging in. In the end spot, I'm going to put negative 10 equals 2. 12 plus negative 10 is a 2. 2 equals 2, so it checks out. Number 4. For number 4, the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by whatever's in the denominator. In this case, I'm multiplying by 9. And whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. What ends up happening is that my 9's cancel out. So you're left with m equals, and the negative 6 times 9 is negative 54. Finally, I could check my work by plugging a negative 54 in for m. Negative 54 divided by 9 is negative 6. So it checks out. At this point, what I would like you to do is please try these two problems at the bottom. Figure them out and check your work. Just like I did with numbers 1 through 4, I want you to try numbers 5 and 6 now.